difference, man. Judge Joe Brown, part 2. He said Obama was part fruit, man. Let's tap in.
I want to ask you about this and get your opinion on it. Obama, he made a comment about how every man, they should have at least one gay friend in their circle because it helps with understanding, empathy, and support.
Well, in his book, he's got several pages where he says he contemplated becoming a gay man. He got suspended when he was in grad school because he couldn't keep his hands off of certain boys. And he used to patronize certain bathhouses in the Chicago area. So he pushed that stuff.
Hold up, bro. He just dropped some bombs, man. That's some bombs. What did he say, bro?
And then it comes out his caretaker in Indonesia in the compound he stayed in was, guess what? So it's not surprising.
That's crazy work.
The typical homosexual male in America is married, or at least was. How many times have somebody caught their hubby? They've got a local politician here in Memphis whose wife is threatening to release a video she has of him having sex with a boy. Or it's not Sally Sue, Tamika, and Grace, it's Bob and Jamal and Tom that are having the affair. Look at Sheriff LaButte in Fulton County with Atlanta. He was a sheriff's deputy, a jailer for 3 years, and his prior experience is he was a porn star for gay porn. That's the sheriff down there.
His name is LaButte.
It happens.
That's crazy. Let me know the accuracy.
A lot of people in the civil rights movement thing. Bayard Rustin, he used to get in trouble all the time. He got locked up for dodging the draft in World War II, but he was a big guy and an athlete, and he got disciplined and put in solitary confinement many times for raping male inmates. But he was Dr. King's number one guy, and that was the reason a lot of people wouldn't be bothered with the civil rights movement is people like Bayard Rustin. Then look at the family connections. I talked about that briefly before. The guy's name is Samuel Hinckley, Hinkley. You may find stuff archived, but they pretty much stripped it off the net. Samuel Hinckley was an indentured slave servant. He was a French Huguenot Protestant who indentured himself to escape Catholic persecution in France. He was one of the people who was counted 3/5 of, for purposes of apportioning representatives in Congress under Article 1. But he had 7 descendants who were presidents of the United States, 1 who was vice president, several who were governors of the United States, and most recently, one of his descendants through the maternal side, Barack Obama, was a presidential candidate running against John McCain, who wasn't a relative. But John McCain's running mate, Sarah Palin, was a descendant of Samuel Hinckley and a cousin of Barack Obama. Just think about that. When he ran against McCain, he was running against one of his cousins. Dick Cheney was a cousin and a descendant of Samuel Hinckley. Both Bushes were cousins of Barack Obama because Obama's maternal grandfather was George Herbert Walker Bush's first cousin. George Herbert Walker, who founded Halliburton, which was caught up in that whole justification for weapons of mass destruction, justifying the U.S. to invade Iraq. That was a descendant of Samuel Hinckley. So all of these people are family members. And perhaps Barack was just a freak in the family. Brad Pitt's a relative too, and so was Warren Buffett. So is Warren Buffett. So they're all cousins.
So there was a lot to unpack there. There was a whole lot to unpack there. For one, man, he just broke down the whole tied in. I didn't realize that Palin, McCain, all these guys, man, I gotta fact check this, and I'm gonna do this right after this video. I'm gonna fact check this, bro, to make sure that these people are related, because if it is, bro, that ties into a lot of conspiracy theories, but we're not even gonna dive down that rabbit hole. Obama is a fruit, bro. Let's just keep it a stack. That's been known, it's been well known, though, honestly. So if you take a look back, why do you think he supported so many LGBTQ movement things? He was their biggest figurehead. He literally sparked that whole movement. Like this whole gay, trans, 50 million different genders, that whole lettuce tomato community, man. He sparked this whole thing. So when you go back and you look at all of the different bills he passed to help them, you know, the diversity, equity, inclusion, all of these different things have been a part of Obama's regimen and his administration. It all goes back, and it kind of makes sense. If he DL, look at some of the stuff that Michelle Obama has come out and say. She didn't want kids with him. All these other things like that she's come out and said that's kind of emasculated him. And now it kind of all ties back in and makes sense. When you hear these things, it's not by accident. These things don't come out, and people don't just say shit just to say it. You think Judge Joe Brown is really out here just calling bluffs and just saying shit just to say it at this point? You feel like he's just, you know, shock jocking? You think he out here like C. White? No, I don't think that's the case, bro. And he doesn't strike me as someone that's going to speak on something if he doesn't have the validity or the education to speak on it. So, man, with all that being said, first black president, man, that's tough work, man. That's tough work. Y'all tap in.